Duel can be brutal against Sanking as well. Wouldn't mind her. Or the Beastmaster either. The extra vision is good. Though Beastmaster's a bit annoyed by the ET and Sanking's area damage, it's okay. He can also hold his own against a Gyrocopter because he can disperse the damage of the Rocket Barrage. Or maybe you want to pick up your mid laner already. You do not have last pick, so maybe Centaur. Okay, nothing too special then. I usually turn to guess Centaur because Centaur is just the most consistent pick. I think Centaur is just fantastic in any draft. There's rarely a draft I don't like to see a Centaur in. He's not the best against Gyrocopter, of course, because you can harass him without actually giving him retaliate stacks. But he's really good against ET if you run him against him. Stampede gives Void a way to initiate without using Time Walk, which means you have a way to get out as well. You have a lot of damage in the Chrono already with Faceless Void and Witch Doctor, so having a bit of a stun afterwards just to add some damage to the Maledict is good as well. And the Centaur works nicely with Shadow Demon. In fact, now you can either go Centaur Witch Doctor and just hope that you can get a kill when someone's not looking and you can just destroy them, or Shadow Demon Centaur for a more consistent lane. They might lack a bit of killing potential though, these two together. Centaur's not the greatest against Sanking though, so no matter what, the Sanking is going to have a pretty decent lane. And now you have the last picks, both mid laners. What are the goals here? So for Godsent, maybe a mid laner that can do a bit of damage in the Chrono would not be lacking. That's why the Lina probably was a really good pickup, actually. And a mid laner that can ideally create some space. You know? Lina was literally the pickup here, to be honest. I wouldn't mind a Quap or a DP either. You could try for the Ember here as well. Some teams really think he's still strong, others don't like him as much. There's a fair amount of stun, though, against the Ember. Timber Sub ban. Oh. I would think of the Kunkka, but obviously Kunkka's bad. Tiny. Ooh, yes, okay. There's the other strength hero. Yes, Tiny. Not that much damage in Chrono, but still a very good space creator. And now it's NiP's turn. NiP's turn versus Godsent. They need a mid laner as well. They're up against a Tiny. What beats a Tiny in lane? Honestly, not many things. Unless you're going for Crit Shaker here in the mid lane, there's not many things that can win you the lane against Tiny. And you just want to tie against them. You've lost the Quap, you lost the DP, you lost the Lina. Those are the heroes that can kind of beat him in lane. You go for something a bit crazy like a Zeus, but I find that to be terrible against this enemy lineup, for example. Like something like Zeus, Tinker, you could work those in. I'm not a very big fan of them. But what heroes are even left for in the mid lane that are even good right now? You could try Ember, but Ember is horrendous. Monkey King, I guess. But then you're playing Monkey King mid. It's a gunner hero, is what I'm thinking, so. And his pool is not that very deep, but they've banned a fair amount of heroes that he likes to play. Mainly the Kunkka. And the Ember is not really viable this game, unless he's confident. Maybe he's confident in his Ember Spirit. But, you know, Storm I wouldn't mind too much. Or, actually, OD is also in the pool. OD would be kind of good here, to be honest. Beats the Tiny, you can save someone in the Chrono, deal a fair amount of damage. You have a setup for the Ultime Stomp. Yeah, I wouldn't mind to see. You have a way to stun the Witch Doctor out of his ultimate. I wouldn't mind seeing the OD. You're not vulnerable against the Shadow Demon either with his Disruption. And he does, I mean, he does fine against any melee hero in lane. Not the hero that beats the Tiny, but he does fine. Yeah, I mean, the Timbersaw would have been the pick, though, to be honest. But I don't know how confident Gunner is in playing that hero, to be honest. Let's see. Bloodseeker. Okay, I was definitely not expecting that. Huh. Oh. Bloodseeker carry with a Gyrocopter mid against... Okay. You know, that's not... Unless I got my... now I'm just going to double check just in case I don't have my positions in... No. I don't have my positions wrong in any of the pajamas. It's definitely the Bloodseeker carry. Yeah, because Bloodseeker against Tiny would have been a really bad matchup. Bloodseeker against Centaur. We did see this in the EU qualifiers before. Askomani was playing Bloodseeker on Ace. They lost, though. Should be mentioned, but they were playing it. I don't dislike this draft. I think it's actually quite nice, the draft by NiP. A bit of a ladder draft, right? So you have an early game presence with a Sand King, Bloodseeker, Elder Titan, and Rubik. You just go kill whatever you can see, put a lot of pressure onto the Void. Gyrocopter can help out in some kills. Then Gyrocopter rotates a bit to become more of the hard carry as Bloodseeker becomes, like, he comes online super early. So Gyrocopter can take that time when Bloodseeker's online to just start farming and pretend and go for the late game. Or alternatively, you can just ignore the late game and go straight up for the mid game. Always an option. Run the enemy team down. So Ninjas in Pajamas, they have a good lineup. They definitely have a good lineup. I like this Bloodseeker pick. He's pretty decent against Centaur. With Shadow Demon, though, I'm kind of concerned because there are a lot of options, a lot of kill potential there. But if you go for the Bloodright build, you kind of... Which is the build that Ace went for. Oh, wow. Immediately disconnected. Guys, I told you I didn't want Bloodseeker. Anyway. You go for the Bloodright build here. And then you have a pretty good Zona skill. Okay, literally, yeah, the Bloodright build. Ever since they changed the mana cost of this skill, it became a pretty good build to go for. And we saw Ace, for example, go for a similar build. It was, you start out with 2 points in Blood Rage, 1 point in Thirst, and then by level 4, you get Blood Rage. By level 4, you get Blood Rage. And when you have Blood Rage, you can start healing back up. But early, it's kind of rare that they can actually out-harass you in the lane. The Blood Rage can be really brutal as well inside the Chrono. It literally stops the Void from going the Chrono, because this Blood Rite, until Void gets BKB, it makes it so that Void has to commit to the Chrono. If I'm going Chrono against anyone that's not the Bloodseeker, any Blood Rites, I'm silenced. So if they decide to counter-initiate right after, I'm screwed. There's nothing I can do. Silence lasts way too long, because this is the first thing you max anyway. So 6 second silence, way too long. That lasts the whole duration of the Chrono and 2 extra seconds, or maybe 1 extra second, depending on the time of the game. So it's kind of a annoying thing to have to deal with. In fact, it's gonna last even further because the Blood Rite will be used as soon as the Chrono gets popped, right? So it takes what, 2.9 seconds for it to complete. So Void has either 2.9 seconds to hit, which is only half his Chrono, a bit more than half his Chrono, or he has to commit fully and then get silenced, and then you can counter initiate onto him. That's an interesting counter. Bloodseeker also has a really good strength gain, one of the best strength gains in any agility heroes. Up there with Razor, actually better than Razor even. 2.7 is fantastic. Not the best agility game, but pretty good strength gain, which means he can tank up nicely. So, it's interesting. I like this. And Godsent start off, this is the way to counter Bloodseeker though online. Even if he goes for Bloodright build, he is a very strong laner, has very good attack damage early. So you go for a Trilane early, try to put some pressure. And now you see the Bloodright build, you go, this is annoying. Because Centaur either tanks this, or he misses out on Lassets if you use it effectively. Oh, and actually hitting the hard. Look at this, PPD comes in with a world of damage. Taste my American punches, says PPD. Kezu kicked out immediately, man. And they're starting out well. You're up against a Trilane, you're fine. In fact, immediate rotation by the Witch Doctor. You're gonna keep EGM here. The best matchup against Bloodseeker is definitely the Shadow Demon, because he can stay away from the Blood Rite and still hurt. But Skitter should be able to play this well. Shouldn't have too much trouble. Not gonna give too many retaliate stacks to Kezu. And EGM will just harass him with Shadow Poison whenever he can, but it's a bit tough. And until you get Disruption, the Stomp is a bit tough as well, because Bloodseeker has really good base movement speed anyway, and a very nice turn rate, which allows him to just evade the Stomp nicely. Not if you leave him alone, though. This is not the ideal situation, but whatever. And yeah, the build I was talking about. Though good point of Blood Rage until level 4. And just max that Blood Rite ideally, with 1 point in Thirst early for the extra movement speed. Also, the vision is fantastic. There we go. He has the Quelling Blade now, he can last another tower. In the top lane, what is it? Rubik and Sand King versus Void Witch Doctor. The Witch Doctor's not that great against Sand King. Even if you hit him with Maledict, you can just Sandstorm and make the damage. It's very much a Sentry War here. And we have an early Quelling Blade on Universe to prevent them losing the Sentry War. Okay, Gunnar was close to dying there, but he heals back up. I'm always impressed by pro players that can do this. The double voice line. I think this is harder than winning the TI, honestly. Like, you press 2 voice. How are you so quick with your hands, man? This is harder than playing NiP or in local. It's tough. The mid lane. Gyrocopter versus Tiny. It's actually a pretty decent matchup against Gyrocopter. It was practiced a bit in TI as a way to deal with the Tiny. You're one of 2 ranged carries that has an instant auto attack. Or almost instant, really. The fastest projectile right after Sniper. Which means that you can outlast the Tiny more or less if you go for early damage. You have a good amount of damage if it gets close to you, a lot of harassment, and your harassment is mixed. Tiny is great against magical damage because he has a lot of HP. He's not that great against physical from your flat cannon, so you have a lot of ways to actually deal with him. And he can't get too close to you. Sure, you're only going to trade last hits, and Chessie's probably going to win this, but hey. You actually can even put a lot of harassment. You force the toss out, but you don't care because you still get the whole missile damage out. Gyrocopter is a very impressive mid laner. Top lane, they're going to go for Beaver. They do have the Maledict on him, and the damage from Void is too much. Beaver's going to go down. First blood for Shiba. As Universe mourns the death of his teammate. He's close to level 3 though, so that's level 2 Sandstorm soon to come. They're currently winning the Sentry Wars, and Universe now in trouble. Oh, what? What is that paralyzing cask? And those time blocks. Universe, you might be the unluckiest man in the world. One more time block is all they need, and they don't even get it. It's just Shiva's attack damage. That... Oh, I'm so sorry, Universe. My god, that is a 10%... No. Okay, 16% chance time block. Fine. Paralyzing cask. Shiva just commits suicide. He doesn't care. That paralyzing cask is nah. It's because they're playing EU servers, man. That's why. Unfortunate for Universe, honestly. That was too much. But hey, they're taking advantage of the Witch Doctor early. They also went for the right play there, which is you attack the Rubik because he's an easier target. You can murder him if he's in a bad position, and you leave the Sand King alone. And if you can get a kill on Sand King now the Rubik's dead because he overextends, fantastic. If not, it's okay. You kill the support, you're taking advantage of Witch Doctor. Boots soon to happen on Gunner. That's going to help him deal with Chessie a bit better. You can chase him with the Rocket Barrage. You can see even the flat cannon harassment. Gunner is starting to really dominate this lane. Like I was saying, he's a very oppressive mid laner, especially against melee heroes. There's the fight for the rune happening though. Skitter joins his support to take this rune up. Well, oh, from behind. Kezu, yoink! Take it right under the noses. Kezu, you thief! Skitter wants to attack him. He actually didn't even go for a potent Blood Rage. Interesting. So, he's just gone for 4 Blood Rage and Thirst. Not even bothering with Blood Rage. Interesting. Not what I saw with Ace. Top lane, another attempt at Beaver's life. Will this one also be successful? Oh, they missed the Burrow Strike, so most likely yes. Still 2 ticks of Maledict left, not even needed. They even use a sentry. Universe out of sentries, so he can't detect this. He will be tipped. As Chessie tosses back the Gyrocopter, gets some tower damage in. Has a fair amount of armor, has to use the call down, will fight Chessie to the death. There's too many creeps though. Rocket Barrage not too effective. Disruption stops Gunner, and now the illusions start to harass him. Flat Cannon has also been committed here. They do get the stun off onto the Shadow Demon. EGM could be in trouble, but Gunner's gonna die to the Shadow Poison instead. EGM actually used the disruption to set up more Shadow Poison onto him. Here's the rotation by Shiba. They're gonna find PPD, and with that, they're gonna get a double kill in the mid lane. PPD, you should not have helped your friend. As Godsent just brings in more supports. They just have more options in terms of rotations. And the top lane, there's too much pressure onto Universe. They're winning the Sentry War. Which means that Universe is relegated to the jungle. Beaver has to help him out a bit. He couldn't rotate that early. Because he keeps getting killed. He has no TP. They go for a smoke though. This is the best usage of a Gyrocopter. Reminds me of Peruvian Gyrocopters that just used to gank at level 4. That's how you use it, man. Yeah, the Rocket Barrage is super powerful. You gotta go for it. Smoke is a good idea, but if you don't get a kill here, this is horrendous. Because Gunner's wasting a lot of time doing nothing. And a lot of nothing he will do. I just love this script's design, I'm sorry. But I will always forget to change it before the game. Charlie. Is he in trouble? I don't think so, actually. Gunner, you're being circled. Gunner, I think you're not in the best of positions right now. With the Maledict on him, Charlie's even committing to this. No Chrono, no need. Gunner, you are not surviving the Charlie onslaught. In fact, he even went for a time dilation early, just to slow down and get more kills. The fact that you'll need to commit 1 point to time walk is so good for this Void. But they're bound to avenge their teammate. They have Rupture. Chessie starts to bleed. He's trying to find a doctor. And it's just, stay still, Chessie. Chessie evades the Blood Right. That's important. They acknowledge it. Once the Blood Right's evaded, you can't really do much. During this whole time, you're giving Kezu a lot of time to recover as well from a bad laning stage. Find the Bloodseeker now. Skitter could be in trouble. They just throw EGM onto him, but EGM wants none of this. He's just walking back. Blood Right will hurt him, but the Chrono's been committed. As Void realizes, fighting the Chrono against the Blood Right is really tough, but they are committing to this kill on PPD. Trying to stomp out, but no temper tantrum for you, ET. As now Shiva suffers the wrath of the homing missile, with no follow from Gunner. The fact that Gunner has to just create space because he is playing mid lane Gyrocopter is a bit tough for him. He really would like to farm and recover a bit. Mid lane went fine for you, but now look at this. Net worth at the same level as your offlaner. The one good thing is that you are in a similar position as Chessie. And Chessie, interestingly enough, is going for the Yule Scepter first. And this is a build. Okay. Cancel the Epicenter channel, yes. Cancel the Stomp channel as well. Dispel the silence on you. I don't think it's a bad build. It's interesting though. I don't know if he's gonna commit to this though, because you know, pros like to troll. Especially casters, they love this. They'll Q and I and they'll go, haha, caster just spent 15 minutes analyzing this, thinking it was a good choice. Joke's on you. Caster's 3K. And then they make you look like an idiot. Joke's on them, I don't need their help to look like an idiot. Charlie's gonna not even go for Midas this game either. Maelstrom is his first item. So earlier fight on the Void. Makes sense with the Witch Doctor, honestly. You can have a Void that's more active in the early game. Sanking in the bottom lane. He gets stunned with a stomp before he can burst strike himself away. And the Paralyzing Cask is not helping. Universe. There's a lot of Shadow Poison on him. But he's not going to die to the Maledict. He TPs away just in time. As the call down comes in, Shiva the target of that homing missile. Not going to follow this up. Instead in the top lane, we see a fight. Bloodseeker versus Void. Bloodseeker trying to get Charlie to walk. But Charlie, he is steadfast. He's staying strong. Eventually, he's maced down with Chessie unable to kill Skitter in time. PPD will also just walk himself away. Charlie, you stood strong, but you don't have enough damage. And that tip, that's a bit late, Skitter. Come on, man. You have to be on point with that tip. The moment that Void dies, tip. That's how you show dominance. I don't even care if I die. I'm tipping you regardless. That's a bit late, man. It's like an afterthought tip. It doesn't count as much. Treads on Gunner. Now completed. So he's starting to get some items. He's beating the Tiny though. It's all good. Alright, see, I told you. This is why I don't trust the quick buy for them. He's going for treads now. He might also just be rethinking this as well, by the way. Not necessarily pro stroll. Beaver. He does get the Maledict, but hey buddy, you already have Maledict. It's on you. Don't you see? It's killing you. Beaver. Beaver. Bye. And they also get a tower with this, which is not bad. Honestly, Godsent's playing this early game really well. And they are itemizing according as well. Because they understand the Void can fight a bit earlier with the Chrono and the Death Ward. They understand they're having a really good early game. The Tiny can just become a really powerful space creator. You can hunt them early, so why not? Go for the Maelstrom, try to fight as early as possible, but without sacrificing your farming potential. Sure, it's a good idea. Okay, this could be a problem now, I think. Gunner. He's being circled around. There's a lot of hungry sharks around him. Hungry swordfish. They actually don't use their little horns to hunt prey, by the way. They use them to disturb fish, and then they hunt them with their mouth. Interesting. They also can... make time go slower for them. They can literally go back in time, Swordfish. Did you know that? That's not even a meme. They can heat up their eyeballs so much they start seeing time in slow motion. It's fantastic. Okay, this is Epicenter. Wag your tail, kill Charlie. That's enough damage though. He can just time walk away. That feels so bad. That feels so bad. There's a Chrono as well. Universe, you are gonna pay for this. You thought you could kill Charlie? Nah, Charlie kills you. There's the Malic Youth. They don't even commit a Chrono. Charlie's telling you he can kill you without committing the Chrono. He TPs away immediately. And now, it does seem like EGM is gonna pay for this though. You kill a support, but in exchange you got an offlaner, and he even uses Epicenter. Nothing feels worse than using all of your attack on a Void and you just time walks away. It's like when you try to pick up someone and you use all your best pickup lines, she just looks at you and laughs. And there it is. There's your dignity gone completely. Fortunately, Ninjas in Pajamas, they're trying their best. They're getting some support kills, but this is still not their peak. This should be mentioned. And Gunner, I gotta say, he's recovering impressively. He's beating the Void as well in terms of net worth. We have Skitter also going for the Radiance build. So this is a late game oriented Bloodseeker as well. He's not the mid game build with Blade Mail that goes for Sanjin Yasha or whatever. No. This guy, he knows if he gets Radiance, he starts farming really quickly. He's already doing that to begin with. And he becomes a real late game powerhouse. It used to be the case back when Bloodseeker was meta. You had to decide, do I go mid game Bloodseeker and go for SNY or similar items? Blade Mail, Yo Scepter, there's so many options. He was very versatile. Or do I go for Radiance and try to take this game late? You're losing the early, so that's the best option right now. But not losing by that much, though. Kezu. He's bleeding to death now. Stuck in the blood right. He's been silenced as well. You have to keep running, Kezu. He's gonna now stand his ground, but it's not gonna work. Toss stolen by Beaver. Destroys him. But now, Godsent, trying to counter-initiate. However, Ninjas in Pajamas, they're quick with their TPs, and they get away unscathed. A PPD, he might be overstaying his welcome. He gets to lay down a ward. It's gonna get immediately dewarded. At least PPD survives. Yeah, sorry about my voice. It's a bit raspy because of the Gambit 80-minute game. If anyone's noticing that, I apologize for that. Hopefully it still sounds okay enough. BKB for Gunner. As this next item. Okay, so we're starting to see a point of inflection early. Usually Gyrocopters at this point, they have to decide, do I go for Ags, do I go for BKB? You go for the BKB because you want that point of inflection as soon as possible. You want to be impactful immediately. Ags, yes, it's good, it helps you farm, it's great at that, but it's not going to be a massive turning point for your team. And you need that. You need right now because you're getting some good kills, but you want to stop Godsent from running you over early. It's a good build. People might really screw over Gunner, but the guy understands the game. Really. I don't think he makes many mistakes in terms of builds. Or heroes in general. Did Rubik just steal toss again? Yes, he does. He loves that. It's actually a really good skill to use with the Sanking. He has a blink dagger already, but you know. Double blink. Why not? Keep pushing these lanes, perhaps take a tier 1. While Godsent are trying to do the same. Godsent commits less to these pushes though. It's only a centaur for now. Now they're all rotating bottom because they think, right, we have to trade tier 2 for tier 2. If they don't trade the tier 2s, because this one has much more HP, and now NiP defenses, this could be really bad. Because it would be a really unworthwhile trade. But NiP, considering right now, should we actually TP? It doesn't seem like they want to. A tower will fall, Godsent will take it, it's going to be a simple trade. Instead, NiP take this time to farm. They did do it first, so they get a bit more time to farm on the cores, but it doesn't make a major difference. They now rotate to tier 1. This would be 2 towers for the price of 1. This would be nice. NiP. Still strong. Only a small 1k lead for Godsent. Godsent wants to make this into a bigger lead. With a Chrono ready. With a Death Ward as well. They can do this. They really just need a good Chrono. But unfortunately, these blind smokes are not doing it for them. In fact, Ninjas in Pajamas, you have some very good offensive... So, first of all, these are offensive dewarding, right? Make sure that the enemy team has no vision, especially rotational vision around here. So you can actually dominate and take the tier 2 with a lot of safety. That's a big thing they did. They knew they had safety to take that. Some defensive wards here that probably saw this rotation as well, even if they smoked. They saw nobody on the map. They have generally pretty good vision around the map. In fact, this ward Gives you some deep vision. If you see nobody here, you go, well, they're not defending the tier 1. They're not in our jungle and they were just there. They must have smoked. And it's quite obvious. Either they TP over here to defend the tier 1 or over here to defend the tier 1. Or they smoked up and they went to catch you. NiP understood this and they just played defensively, rotated out. Good play. Skitter just inching towards the Radiance. Now they themselves go for a smoke. Not so blind though, because they have this ward. And this ward has caught a couple rotations. They know that there's heroes around there. And NiP will do, yes, the wraparound. The wraparound with a single bait. Skitter's the bait. Like, right, there's a blood right here. Skitter must be around. Let's stay. Let's stay and potentially fight. But NiP, they have other plans. They're wrapping around. They want to catch you with your pants down. And can they do it? They have the high ground advantage right now. But Godsent, they're keeping to the right. They understand this. For now, only 2 supports. But it's a start. In the high ground, ooh, it doesn't seem like Shiba was expecting this. They only commit a burst like in a sandstorm, but that's a smoke loss just on Shiba. It's a start. However, Godsent, they're not gonna let this tower fall so easily. Gunners just pushing this tower as he also farms the creep wave. Super efficiency machine. Skitter makes Kezu bleed. Void is joining in. The call down will stop him. Charlie now with a chrono. That's a really good chrono, catching 2, and they can kill Gunner inside of it. Gunner for now surviving, but he's gonna be brought down. Universe Epicenter, he has to actually walk away. Skitter cannot fight this alone. For now, they're still chasing after him. Time dilation used. They're gonna go for the easier target, Beaver, because Beaver is just a support, and Charlie wants the easier kill here. They're gonna settle for it. Godsent quite happy with how this went out. They did lose the Witch Doctor. They had to force the buyback, but overall, it worked out for them. Really good TP by the Void, and a fantastic time walk just before the Blood Right hit him. Now they can take their own tower. Oh, they even find another kill. Is the PPD. Ooh, what a perfect toss combination. Take down the supports and the gyrocopter. Gunner being in the middle of that chrono was what sentenced them. Without his damage, you're just lagging a bit. And Universe Epicenter, it's okay, but you went for Blink Dagger first, meaning you lack the Veil of Discord, meaning you don't have that insane output of magical damage. It was a choice he made. He's trusting the Void. He's trusting the Gyrocopter to be the damage sources while he's the initiator. But of course, this puts you in a pickle because when one of your damage sources dies, what do? You just don't deal damage. Godsent. They don't fight for the bounty runes. They're gonna take the bottom runes instead. EGM, good rotation there, taking the runes you don't have to fight in. They're starting to acknowledge, okay, I think NiP is starting to reach their stride. They can still get pickoffs. NiP is good at this right now. The Gyrocopter's damage is still relevant. You have the ET with the Earth Splitter soon, so you know they can take a fight right now. The thing is though, Skitter's about to reach that Radiance timing. And once that happens, this changes a lot. Radiance is really good on the Bloodseeker, better than it was before. Because now you get attack speed. So you utilize the magical damage of the Radiance, obviously, that's the reason why you get it. Because you still farm, you can heal in the middle of a team fight with a kill on a creep with Blood Rage. It's fantastic, right? But the extra physical damage it gives you is really well utilized by Thirster's attack speed bonus. So it works out that way as well. It's nice. It's a very synergistic item with the Bloodseeker. And this is the point of inflection, together with Gunner's BKB. For Godsent, okay, you have the Maelstrom on Charlie. He's also going to get his BKB. What BKB is more impactful? Void BKB or Gyrocopter BKB? Well, it's actually hard to tell. The Gyrocopter BKB is massive because you stop all the stuns, except for the Chrono. But the Chrono can always get you. However, within the Chrono, you lack a lot of damage. Because Maelstrom procs are magic, and Time Lock is magic. So Gyrocopter BKB can pretty much make him a walking tank for a while. Void BKB, though, ensures a consistent initiation. It makes sure that the Rubik, the Eltai, and the Xankin cannot stop him. It also stops a lot of the magical damage on the enemy team and the blood right from destroying you. So honestly, I think they're kind of equal. However, you don't have a hero with a Radiance here. You're much more reliant on the Void. Tiny will get his Echo Saber. I don't think this is as impactful as a Radiance, but it will add some burst damage. Godsent might be looking here instead to just go for pickoffs instead. Wait for the Void to become a bit more relevant. Okay, another smoke by Godsent. We've seen a couple smokes. Not all of them have worked out. You gotta keep trying. Third one's the charm, is what they say. And I don't know what number we are on, so let's just hope it's the third. Godsent. But the BKB, this is the reveal of the BKB. They still have no ratings on the Bloodseeker. He's very close, though. He does have Sacred Relic. Universe. Oh, he's actually soon gonna get the Veil Discord, too. It's as relevant as the Echo Saber, I'd say. No, Charlie, do not! Fight your carry instincts! Oh, the smoke was okay. Right, sorry. The smoke was going away anyway. I thought he just broke the smoke to get the creep. Typical carry. Nah, it's fine. It's all good. Another blind smoke. It's not well committed. Both teams are so good at... actually, they're doing really well at dewarding, honestly. You have, I think, 2 wards on the map, really, and so many sentries. This is why we need to see stock. Please. If anyone in Valve is hearing me, can I please, as a caster, look at the stock of sentries they have? It's so important. There's no way I can count them. I can count the smoke somewhat if I'm good enough, but I cannot count the sentries. I don't have a beautiful mind. Because the dewarding has been really effective. And because this dewarding has been so effective, it forces both teams to play passively. You have no vision, no rotational wards, no security. You're essentially going in blind. And it's so scary to do that. Unless you're super confident. And since both teams have pretty similar timings when it comes to their team fight potential, what are you going to do? Honestly, Godsent, they got the BKB, but they're thinking, right, but Gyro probably has his BKB right now. Also, Bloodseeker, I saw him with a Sacred Relic. Yep, now we see the Radiance. Okay, are we stronger? It's hard to tell. It really depends on who gets the initiation first. But without vision, it's really tough to do that. The one thing that Godsent can at least count on is they have slightly better counter initiation. The Stampede is fantastic, right? It's one of the best counter initiation spells in general. Or at least even disengage spells, much like the Moonlight Shadow. Here's the one caveat though. Stampede gets countered by this little spell called Rupture. You run really fast, you bleed even faster. So, even with this great saving grace you have, you're a bit queasy about fighting. In terms of NiP, I mean, they don't even need to fight, really. They're going for late game builds, they're looking for the BKB on Skitter. Gyrocopter's going for the Ags. Hey, it's all good, man. Just farming. You're amassing your fortune. That's why Godsent, they're the ones forced to smoke. They need to get the catch on the enemy team. Oh, smoke against smoke. What smoke will win? For now, the high ground is for NiP, but it could be a wraparound smoke, even if it's not really on purpose. They don't see the rest of the team. Gunner joins them. They just suck Gunner. They're gonna fight around the runes. The Witch Doctor's the first to reveal the smokes. He gets caught out. That's a lack of death ward for this team fight. They blood rage him so they can try to kill him first, but Shiva survives this. In fact, it's Beaver the first to die. There's the BKB revealed by Gunner. But it's not gonna have much impact just yet. As the team fight's a bit divided, Skitter running around, looking for Chessie. Look how fast Skitter can go. Skitter catches Chessie, and Chessie is gonna die here. He heals best he can with those creeps, but he's not gonna be able to withstand this. Chessie dies here, but Kezu, next target, Skitter is running right after him. Kezu fights to the best of his ability. There's the chrono. He just baited it out, and now Skitter could be in trouble. But there's an Epicenter still ready. Also a burst, like however the BKB on Charlie saves him from this. Skitter will go down. Charlie's still chasing after Universe. Gunner as well. There's no damage Gunner has, and he's lost his BKB, so he's useless here. He's in the trees, hiding like a coward. And you know what happens to cowards? They die early deaths. So Godsent. Alright. They get 3 kills onto NiP. It's a really good start for them. Because they continue with their domination. They have not faltered. They just faced the Radiance on Bloodseeker. They just faced the BKB on Gyrocopter. And you're fine. You did not lose that fight. You played that wonderfully. That was a really good smoke. This is what I was talking about. Lack of vision. That's really what was killing their initiations. But if you get the jump on them, if you just are able to do that, you have the win, really. They tried to go on the centaur. That was a really good play also by Kezu. That turned them around. He baited them out. He was fighting them. Bloodseeker was confident, but you just don't have enough damage against a centaur. The chrono, however, ooh, that chrono was fantastic. You saved your centaur bait. You ensured that he was actually doing something useful. And you got a really important kill on Skitter. Without Skitter, a lot of your damage is lacking. The whole point of Skitter's build right now is to survive as long as possible. He needs that BKB. And you need the Agams on Gunner. He needs both these scores to be more three-dimensional. What do I mean with that? Right now, Gyrocopter, he can tank, but he deals a limited amount of physical damage. It's only a BKB. With Aghanims, that changes a bit. Skitter, right now, he can deal damage with the Radiance, okay, sure, but he lacks survivability. You can change that with a BKB. With these items, this moves around a bit. They can play interchangeable roles. It's easier to play for NiP. They have more flexibility in their team fights. Okay, 700 gold away from the Aghanims. We see a scan. The scan, what was it used by Radiant? So NiP, they knew Charlie was there in the high ground, but yeah, it's the fact that we use a scan like that is more of a, I guess we're not going there scan, because you definitely not initiate from low to high ground. This is one thing though I will say that I do like about NiP. And, well, I say NiP, but it's really, I'm sure it's PPD saying that. Like, you idiots, don't go up in the high ground. They will not make these kind of mistakes. These mistakes we see sometimes in qualifier teams. They will go up to the high ground even when they have a scan because they're like, but there's guys here, guys, so we can kill them, right? No, not in the case of NiP. They won't make that mistake. They want good team fights. They understand the importance of the jump here. For now, this game just slows down. You know, there's neither team really wants to fight. I think we're looking for the next items or next smokes. Where are my stocks? Want to see the stocks? Actually, I do wonder if stocks would be advantageous, even without the delay. Now that I'm realizing it, like knowing if someone has tomes or if someone has sentries. Oh, I didn't think of that. I know 5 minutes delay is enough if you actually get to see stocks. Well, I trust in teams' morality. Godsent. This could be a really... again, smoking right to the high ground. They're playing this properly. They understand. Oh, the Chrono to Skitter. Well, he has Radiance. They need more damage. Deathward right out of the Chrono. That's Skitter dead. He even had Blood Rage on him. Thank you, Skitter, for helping my out. Faces Void, though. Could be in trouble. He's down the Time Walk. Gets away for now. Holy Missile chasing after him. Gunner has the BKB. He could chase after them. He's calm for right now. BKB's always active. Now with the Aghanims, he deals a fair amount of damage. They're trying to save. Right now, the Void. They toss him forward. And Charlie is okay for now. With a Stampede, they can disengage, but Skitter's back. Skitter has the Rupture. Gets Chessie. Chessie starts to bleed. Chessie, he just TPs in the face of danger. Holy Missile, will it hit? No, it will not. So close. Instead, they'll have to settle for EGM. But EGM is happy dying. He doesn't care. He just saved his cores from dying. You forced a buyback from Skitter. You killed Skitter. You forced his buyback, and for what? For a kill on Shadow Demon? No, Skitter, this feels bad. You need a BKB, though. That's going to change things around. I mean, in that Chrono wouldn't have saved you, but the BKB could allow you to play a bit more aggressively. They do find Universe, Paralyzing Cask, the bane of Universe existence. He has been hit with a Maledict, the Stomp as well. Universe is gone. SK will be building up that Yule Scepter. That's Chessie. The Ags almost completed. So it's going to be Ags plus Echo. This is actually the build I prefer a lot. Because I find that when you see support Tiny, sometimes they just go Crystallis into Ags, or even straight Ags. Because they're like, what do I need the Echo for? But the slow of the Echo can be brutal, especially against something like a Bloodseeker. You know, Bloodseeker doesn't really have anything but his mobility, so... the Ags or the Echo is going to be wonderful here. In fact, Chessie will now have it. There we go. Oh, that tree volley. I love this icon, by the way. A bunch of like trees just being taken out of the ground. Just fantastic. With Blink on EGM to save his teammates a bit more. And now the MKB on Charlie. Let's see. Godsent, what is your plan? Initiate like this, okay. Blink. And catch the ET. Goodbye, ET. That's Solar Crest on Kezu. We're starting to see this build more and more often on some Centaurs. It works out. It adds a lot to your damage. It's very useful for pushing the high ground. I like it, Kezu. Now, what's the plan for NiP? You're 7k in the hole, but it's fine. Like I said, a BKB might change things around. You're still progressing pretty nicely. This is one of the greatest things about NiP, honestly. Gunner has not fallen behind in farm. It reminds me of old EG, when they would lose the early game, not care, and just proceed to win the game regardless. And it makes sense, because that was the EG, the PPD was captaining. What a chrono by Beaver! Unfortunately, he has nothing, but he actually steals free volley with the epicenter now. Now's the real chrono, though. It's time for Charlie to start hitting, and it's Gunner who's caught in it. He starts the BKB, though, to fight this. Gunner activates the BKB, but gets time locked immediately. That's so unfortunate! As Gunner gets cancelled, as BKB comes out, Skinner in the backlines gets stomped to death, and they're gonna find the poor Rubik. Also brought down. Godsent. They managed to turn this around. That was a really good initiation by Beaver, but unfortunately, it was Beaver alone, and NiP could not follow up with that. Now it's time for the Roshan. Okay, you have a chance. There's no chrono here. Stump, Gunner. Universe comes in though. There it is. Initiation after initiation. The stump from PPD. Keep the center controlled. They're going for Roshan and Kezu at the same time. Gunner fighting against the Roshan, but who takes the ages? It is Gunner. He has the quickest fingers in the game. And that means he'll take it away from Charlie, get the kill as well. Shiva, where are you going, buddy? Back to the grave. And take down the Shadow Demon as well as EGM left alone, stomped to death. Godsent just got wiped off the face of the earth. And NiP really happy with this fight. They even taken Aegis and a Roshan to boot. Because that was actually the Roshan taken by Gunner. He divided his attention, Gunner, there, but the ADHD worked. As he took down both objectives at the same time. He was confident, and it was a fantastic play. That will now lead to his next item. I'm not sure. Is that Maelstrom? It is. Okay. I saw that. I was thinking, is that MKB? Why is there nothing? No, definitely Maelstrom. So now with Maelstrom ready, Gunner starts to deal damage. And it's time for them to push the tower. As the Maelstrom comes out on Gunner, the tier 2 will fall. They're actually dividing their efforts to push two tiers at the same time. Tier 2 in the mid lane, tier 1 down bottom. Look at these creeps go! Yes, Beaver. Pretend like you did something. There we go. Take the last hit from the creeps. They work hard, but you're the boss, so you deserve to take all the credit. Capitalism, Beaver. Alright. With that, it's time for NiP to take another fight. There is a chrono this time, though, so it's not gonna be so easy. But Gunner starts to deal a lot of damage. Even within that chrono, you chrono him, you're fighting against a side Gunner. This makes sense. This is why he always plays Gyrocopter. And a Maelstrom now. With Bloodseeker, Radiance, and BKB ready. This is a 10-second BKB for the next team fight. He has revealed, or it should have been revealed when he's far. Yeah, he's pushing the creeps. If they're checking his inventory, he should see it, but might still come as a surprise. We don't know. Went for the Rupture cast range. So this is what I was talking about, right? Now NiP becomes more three-dimensional. Their carries have more depth. Gunner's no longer just a tank. He now has damage. Whereas the Bloodseeker, he can become much more of a tank. So he can become a utility hero. Let Gunner take the lead. He now has the damage to do so. It's 35 minutes in, it's Gyrocopter time. Whereas the Bloodseeker can fall back and enjoy the show. He's now here to use Blood Rights, he's now here to use Rupture, and kill whatever stragglers he can find. Ooh, the Epicenter has been targeted for the Centaur, take away the enemy initiation, but that's a really good disruption, saving him from everything. He's still asleep though. They could continue going for Kezu, and they do try. Stampede's been forced out. Kezu, the Rupture, close to killing him. The homing missile, plus Gunner's Maelstrom proc will ensure that the Centaur goes down. That's not only Centaur down, that's Stampede down as well. No more running for this man. Okay, NiP, how does it feel? We've just casted 2 comebacks on this channel. Seems like this might be the 3rd one. I don't know if you can call it a comeback. It's not like NiP completely lost the plot of this game at any point, to be honest. As I was mentioning, right? They were preparing for this late game. They knew. Controlled. It does remind me of the old EG, man. Is this the PPD effect? I don't know. This is why I'm a fan, guys. I'm one of the few Europeans that likes him. He can insult my continent all he wants, man. He'll always be #1 in my heart. Because he plays here anyway, right? And they are, with a Gyrocopter, you can still beat them, right? Yes, Chrono is definitely not gotten for Godsent. They have a good lineup. They have a lineup that can turn this around easily. All you need is a good Chrono. The problem, though, is Gyrocopter, once he gets items, is kind of annoying to deal with in the chrono. The Bloodseeker with the constant blood rights, what I was saying earlier, starts to take effect. Which is the blood right makes the Void doubt twice about what to do in the chrono. He does have a BKB, but hasn't been too impactful just yet. And after Satanic, I bet this Gyrocopter starts to go for the Basher. Tree volley by Chessie, though, can be really impactful now with Crystallis. There's a chrono, they go for Gunner. Gunner alone. He still has the BKB and the Aegis, so they might want to fight this. In fact, they do. Look at the Earth Splitter, takes away Kenzo's health. And now with a fantastic burst strike, Charlie is killed off immediately as Shibe, the next target, or perhaps they're going for Chessie. Yes, much more valuable. Kill the core. Doesn't matter if you lose the Aegis, it's worth it. They keep Shibe asleep. He's gonna wake up to a real nightmare as Gunner goes in. Rocket Barrage ready. They control Chessie. Chessie is gone. Just a pile of rocks. And it's another team wipe. Goodbye, Godsent. NiP, it's their time now. They will take down this tier 3, and they don't even care. They don't want to play this game anymore. We've had a long enough game. Let's go for the tier 4s. It's time to end it. There's only one buyback. It's the Witch Doctor. But what can he do? The only thing he can do is a Paralyzing Cast. Yeah, come on, Shibe. Do your thing. Yeah, Paralyzing Cast. What? No? No? You don't want to fight a whole team of 5 heroes? Yeah, there's no buybacks. They weren't expecting this to happen. NiP will just win this game. The GG well play gets called out. All they needed was one good team fight. This, guys, is why we don't have surrender button in Dota. NiP take this game 2-0 again. Take the series 2-0 against Godsent. 2024 the score. They didn't even have more kills. They didn't need to. All they needed was the 1 kill on Throne. Ninjas in Pajamas victory. And with this, just checking because I need to know what there won't be a 3-way tiebreaker. I'm mistaken, right? Godsent stays with 3 points. NiP gets, is it 5? Yes, right? NiP gets 5, so we're all good. We're all good. No 3-way tiebreaker. No 3-way tiebreaker, guys. No more games today for you. Well, no more games for these guys because we still have another game to be seen on this very channel. And it's 6-8-3 fighting up against Alliance in the last best of 2 of today for EU. So excited to get to cast these guys. Alliance are leading their group quite confidently. My name's been D Swordfish. I've been your caster for today. Hope you enjoyed the cast. It's been a pleasure. And I'll see you guys with the next match of the day shortly. Until then.